Here's another method in order to change and especially to control, let's say, the angle of the rib if you want to change it through morphing and that you want to specify a really controlled angle. So let's have a look at this rib here, and to start with we'll need to define some morph constraints in that case. So let's start with defining these morph constraints. So at the first point we will create a morph constraint on the face here to say that it must remain along x, and by the way we can do it also on the rib. So let's run this selection with control my box, and I can also pick a few extra nodes here, and we will say that it will move along degrees of freedom, and we will fix y x and y translation. For that case we will just keep the z translation. So let's click on create and then just hide it because the morph constraints is really visible. Now let's go to the, let's say, old morphing tools with HyperWorks, and as a first step let's go to the domains, and we will switch to 3D domains, and you can either keep all elements or select the displayed ones, etc., etc. Here as I have only one part meshed, let's go to all elements. So doing so, HyperMesh will create 3D domains, 2D domains which will be per face, and H domains plus yellow spheres here represent handles. With this done, what we can do now is to go to Morph, and we will use the Altair dimensions. In the Altair dimensions there are multiple options available. The one of interest here is angle, and what we'll do is we will select nodes and handles. So now we have a first choice, node A vertex and node B, which is the reference for defining the angle. See that once I have selected node A vertex and node B, HyperMesh returns me the current node value. Now I can select all the handle which will be for handle for fixed or for follower and A, and I can select followers for NB, which will be these ones, and I will ask to hold NA, so it's just NB which will be moved. And the last step now, just let me orientate it differently, the parts that we can see it, is to change angle and click on Morph. So let me now hide the geometry, that you can see the result. Here is the result.